Welcome to Daggers and Shadow Daddies.
We're your hosts, Ryan and Adriana. Close your legs and open your book. Let's get to reading.
Warning, this podcast contains explicit content.
It's about to get nasty.
It's all vibes and no facts.
Let's get to spoiling.
Wait, no, these are spoiler-free episodes.
Not the way I do it.
In chapters 7 through 9, Samkiel pissed me off because he goes to the queen to go visit her, and he calls her my queen. And he's like, oh, that kind of was odd. And then, like, the woman is, like, smiling, like, oh, ha, 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 ha. And she likes it. He smirks after she likes him saying that. And he says to himself that he smirked because he was thinking about his breakfast.
Yeah, he doesn't really like her. He's flirting.
Ryan. He says, my queen. She laughs and giggles. He smirks, and he's like, what a great breakfast. It's
You know what
good.
he had for breakfast?
Oh, Dianna?
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's like,
I'm not mad at him anymore.
okay, good.
I'm like,
Even
oh,
cured.
eggs and bacon makes you smirk.
No, we just had a 20-minute talk about what he had for breakfast.
Okay, that makes sense. Sure, Sammy, flirting on purpose. I'm dumb.
You're good.
He's thinking about how she didn't say she loved him back. And then we get Miska's POV. She lost her mother. We learned that Dianna and Samkiel, they have different names. They say that they're a part of the eye. Miska thinks he is getting worse and gave him some tea, and they talked for hours. It was a really sweet scene.
It was, and those people are mean to her because she's an orphan. This is a weird thing, too. Who the fuck is mean to orphans?
I'm assuming there's something about her mother disagreeing with the poisons and that whole business stuff.
Potentially, yeah. You're right.
It's something with her mother. I don't think it has to do with her. It's her mom. Chapters 10 through 12. Diana's POV. She's sneaking around to see why the city is keeping secrets and illegal items.
Dun-dun. According to whose laws? This is my other question. Are these illegal to their queen, or are these illegal to Nismira? Are these illegal to Samkiel? She doesn't even speak their language. How does she know what is and is not legal there?
I'm assuming they're war crime level poisons and items.
So, like, it would be like a country hiding nuclear weapons. We'd be like, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to have this here.
In any language, in any culture, this is bad stuff.
All right, fair enough.
As they were in there, they had this failed literal role play moment. It was so odd. And I think it's just really, in some ways, good that Dianna is growing as an individual. She was in a toxic relationship that gave her a messed up idea of what it is to have a relationship with someone.
Yeah, blowjob secrets. Which, I'm just saying, maybe some things could be picked up along the way.
Worked on Kaden. Let's not do this to Samkiel.
Or she's correct, and we're wrong about this. No?
No.
All right. Just saying.
But she dresses up, I think, as one of the nurses. His actual nurse.
And he reacts exactly appropriately in this scenario.
Eye contact the entire time.
Yep.
Disgusted.
He's like, get your disgusting transformative titties out of here. I want nothing to do with your nonsense. And she's like, come on, wouldn't it be fun? And he's like, no, I want to fuck you, not you pretending to be somebody else. And I really like that.
I really liked it.
I think it's a bold move to bring up the sexual preferences of an ex-partner. No matter who it is. Like,
But Kaden liked this. Like, the fuck?
I remember early in our relationship when you would occasionally bring up an ex-partner of yours. And then you're like, well, so-and-so liked this or that. And I remember at one point just saying, I don't care. Like, I was like, the last thing I want to hear in this moment is what that person did or did not like.
I don't remember doing that.
We were pretty young.
Yeah, really young and dumb.
Not really young. We were of age.
Right.
I'm making this very clear.
Well, it was an awkward moment for Dianna. And he noticed that she is ravenous and is making him insecure.
Yeah, he can't perform that much. He's sick. He's under the weather. There's no Gatorade. There's not enough. He needs electrolytes.
Yeah, and he just feels like he's inadequate and not keeping her satisfied.
Oh, okay.
So he confesses that he feels insecure about it. She tells him, like, no, 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 no. In her head, she says that she thinks she's given up something important in the tunnel. And that's why she's actually ravenous.
Her virginity.
But no. And it seems to be her B-side is taking over her. I don't know. I don't know what she gave up in the tunnel yet.
She thinks she gave up her love.
And that maybe she isn't satisfied. She is, I don't know.
I don't think that's how this works. I think she's filling an emotional hole by having him fill a literal one.
Okay. Well, after that whole scene of their conversation, she hides them in the in-between. She passes out. She wakes up and there's a nurse there. And this is another Samkiel jealousy moment, but it's actually Reggie just being a bro, and it was so good. So Reggie's just there, like, I just see him being, I don't know, his attitude of let's get this nonsense over because I know what the hell's going on. And he sends Samkiel away. Samkiel is jealous and pissed. He's like, great, they're going to be talking again, whatever's going on. And then Reggie helps her with letting her feed. And he stopped her, actually, from killing the woman. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, Reggie so far is kind of the anchor of sanity among all of these people in this current situation. Just tell Samkiel the truth. You putting this off is not helping anybody. He appears to be getting worse. We don't know what the fuck's going on. You have to feed because you're not eating real people food. We don't know what's happening. I don't know. I just think overall Reggie is the anchor.
Only thing that I wish that Reggie would do was, if you don't tell him, I will by this time.
I think the difference is Reggie is loyal to her. Their system of loyalty is different.
There it is. Well, I thought that he said he was loyal to Samkiel's dad.
That is not Samkiel. That is Samkiel's father and his interests.
Fair. Then we get Miska's POV, and the girls tricked her into wearing a long gown. And Reggie talked to her about her mother, having a whole conversation of where her mother was from, and it was so cute. And again, it sounds like Samkiel is not healing.
And it's Papa Reggie and Miska. I fucking think it's so cute.
It's adorable. Chapters 13 through 15, Samkiel's POV, it's a trap. He met with the queen for dinner, and she poisoned him and turned him into, that's such a silly way of writing that, turned him in,
comma,
to the eye that works for Nismira.
No,
I don't think they
did not turn him into the eye, first of all. She turned him in as a member of the eye.
To Nismira.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the way it went. Dianna's POV, she's dealing with a sassy Reggie who's exhibiting more human traits, and he tells her, you brought a god back from Earth, as they were exploring this like other land for something that's supposedly to heal.
We brought him back from Earth.
I meant to say death.
Death. That makes more sense. I'm like, at no point was Earth mentioned in this story.
Oh, oh goodness. You brought a god back from death.
Yeah.
When she's talking to him about he's not healing, what's going on, he's just like, do you not realize what you did? And it was just amazing. And turns out it was a trap also on her end, as she slaughters them. And Reggie's just like, we could have gotten information. She's like, nope, too bad.
He's like, you left one alive for us to learn this information from, right? No,
they're gone.
No, I did not.
And this is so sweet. Well, sweet in a morbid way, I guess. Goes back to Miska's POV. Dianna is destroying her town. Flames everywhere.
The whole fucking country is going down.
She's just like, oh no, I'm scared. And it was so, I didn't know how Dianna was going to find her, and I thought it was going to be more dangerous for her. And it was really sad because she's trying to join them. The group of girls, they're older than her. She's trying to join a little boat, and they kick her down. One punches her in the face.
Yeah, it was really mean.
And then Dianna walks in.
And she's like, come here, baby. And she's like, you're going to want to close your eyes for this part. Also, maybe plug your ears, because there's going to be a lot of screaming.
Slaughters them.
Everyone.
It was like Anakin moment.
Execute Order 66. Not just the men, but the women and the children, too.
Exactly.
It's so fun.
She killed them all.
She did. I like that her message to this whole thing was, I'm coming for you, Nismira. And then she burns other places too to kind of throw Nismira off of her trail.
Well, in this one, she didn't care. She doesn't care if anyone finds her.
No, she specifically did this to spite Nismira.
Burn the city down?
Correct. That's why she didn't immediately go to find Samkiel. She started burning down the city before she even got to the queen. This was a fuck you, Nismira moment.
Okay.
Otherwise, she could have had time to have procured Samkiel.
Fair. I was thinking she was burning down. Yeah, it was a fuck you.
Yeah, 100%. This was a show of strength, being like, you're not that fucking tough. She's creating a name for herself. We also haven't brought up the visions of the guy with yellow eyes yet.
No, she's been having those.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is your note. Miska's POV, her fellow healers abandon her and Dianna slays them. Dianna tells her to get your shit and get on my back. Parentheses, Ryan theory. Dianna gave up her ability to have children, so Sammy and Dianna basically adopt this girl.
Boom. I think that's what she gave up when she brought Samkiel back, was a life for the opportunity of a life.
Oh.
I was waiting for you to get to this note so I could reveal this. Ta-da! And all you gave me was, oh, come on.
I think it's a lot to take in.
Oh.
Because, yeah, this whole time I was thinking that she gave up her bond.
I think she also gave up the mark of the shin.
She just gave up, yeah. She
But I
gave
think
up everything.
But I think the mark of the shin went away because Samkiel died. Not because she actually gave up her love. Because when...
her soul is split, you can't be bonded to your own soul.
I don't think his soul ever went anywhere. Remember?
Oh yeah.
In my theory, his soul didn't go away. I think what happened is the part of her soul that, I don't know, man, would have become a child later. I don't know about her soul being split. I'm still not sold on that actually battering. What I think happened is she experienced heartbreak. Samkiel technically died for a second. That's why the mark of the shin disappeared, because when Logan and Never are separated, he keeps checking his arm to make sure the mark is still there, because when she dies, the mark will go away. So she manages to bring him back to life. She trades her future child for his life, her ability to bear children or whatever for his life. Then they adopt this little girl, and she kind of fills the void where they would have otherwise had a baby.
So are you saying that they just need to tell each other they love each other again to get the mark of the shin back?
I think so.
I swear to God, Dianna, if that is all it was this whole time.
But the mark is just a symbol. It's not actual power. It's like it's wearing a wedding ring. You're still married whether you're wearing the ring or not.
Yeah, but I also thought it's the symbolic moment of their powers converging.
I don't know.
Because that hasn't. And even we talked about Nevera and Logan mentally linked and having their thoughts. They can talk to each other in their heads. Dianna and Samkiel can't do that.
Again, I think some of this is just time. They've been together for 1,000 years.
1,000 years, and now they can just look at each other and have a conversation.
Baby, look what we can do after 15. You give me 900 years, we will be telepathic.
I wish. I'm always so jealous of that in these books when characters are telepathic.
You basically know what I'm thinking about most of the time anyway.
Yeah, fair. Oh my God, I see another note of yours. Camilla is horny for Vincent.
Vindic.
Chapters 16 through 18, Camilla's POV. She's spying on Nismira, so she's invisible with her little necklace piece and believes the captured Samkiel. Oh, so she's spying on Nismira, and everyone in the room believes that the captured individual is actually Reggie. You're like, oh, it must be her friend, Reggie. That's who they've captured. I think them thinking that a fate was captured is a little ridiculous, but I think Vincent clued in. He's suspicious of Samkiel being alive, and Camilla is jealous of Nismira touching her Vincent. Quote, "We're not dealing with Samkiel's mate. We're dealing with Kaden's." That's another thing that was said at this table, and that pissed me off. Everyone's just like, that's now Kaden's woman.
No, I think they were pointing out that the part of her that is burning down cities and shit was the part of her that was Kaden's mate. The evil version of her is what I got from this. Yeah, they're like, Samkiel's mate was all about trying to find this book and prevent this huge catastrophe. The Dianna that existed before that was his fucking hellhound, where she was out there to tear shit up. And they're like, no, we're dealing with old school Dianna because Samkiel's out of the picture.
Oh, I was taking it as the only reason she's alive and we're not going after and killing her is because she's Kaden's mate and Kaden wants her alive.
They're trying to find her actively. And I don't know that they would keep her alive for that sake.
Well, after that whole conversation, everyone leaves. Vincent comes back. He sees Camilla and he like chokes her a little bit, but it's like sexy choking, I guess. I don't know. And like the suggestion of like his hand around her throat, but he puts his forearm between her
tatties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he like moves her legs apart so he moves in and she's like, oh shit, I like this. Oh no, I don't think I should like this, but I do like this.
Yeah, it's definitely a different kind of sexual interest.
Yeah, but it's like it's kinky, but it's actual. It was written in a way that it makes sense that Vincent would be choking her and break her necklace thing.
That it naturally occurred.
Yeah,
makes sense.
It makes sense that he'd be choking her out. He's that type of character. And then how it was like in a way of, oh, they're both into it though.
Yeah, I'm really happy for the two of them.
I don't know. I'm still having a hard time with Ryan. What is this note?
I don't know. Read it.
Vincent gets her egg substitute and shares a juice box with her.
Oh, yeah. He says, you must be hungry. Is this the next chapter or is this the same chapter?
It's Camilla's POV. I think it's still in the same chapter.
Okay, yeah. He says, you haven't eaten. And she's like, I don't know. I don't like the food. He's like, what kind of food do you like? She's like, I like eggs. And he's like, just sit here. I'll get you some eggs. They go to the cafeteria. Everybody's looking at Vincent. They're like, oh, gosh. And she's like, oh, you must be some sort of rock star because of what you did to Samkiel. And he's like, nope. They're just afraid of me because they know Nismira will fucking murder them if they look at me wrong. And she's like, must be nice. And he's like, here, let me get you the egg substitute. And he gets her these substitute eggs, which aren't really eggs. He's like, they're scrambled. I hope that's okay. And then he gets orange juice. It was not really orange juice, but it kind of tastes like orange juice. And she's eating her breakfast, and he takes a drink out of her cup. And she's like, the fuck? That's my cup. He's like, I only had 2 fucking hands. I couldn't give myself orange juice, too. So I'm a little thirsty. I took a sip of your orange juice.
And as much as I don't like Vincent, I did like that scene.
I thought it was really adorable.
And he serves her food again later. And then when he finds out they give her shitty food, he's like, who's doing it?
Whoever brings you soup, you let me know.
And then he serves her more food. I'm like, oh, I think it's working. I think it's working on me. Then we have Samkiel's POV. He's dreaming of Dianna. I'm reading your notes, and we write differently. He met an elven homie.
Mm-hmm.
He knows who Samkiel is. They stopped to camp, and his necklace can't be removed by the guards. Oh, that's when you fell asleep. Now we're back to me.
Okay. Makes sense.
That's about all that really happened with their Samkiel is being transported.
But dude's like, I'm not Samkiel. And the elven dude's like, shut the fuck up. Yes, you are. I know who you are.
He stole the rings too from him.
Yeah.
And I'm picturing almost like a Robin Hood style transport of prisoners, like a stagecoach, and they're in this wooden rickety thing and they're being hauled by whatever. That's how I'm picturing every single time it cuts to Samkiel and this little elf. And this elf can also like shapeshift, or he's small enough that he can just kind of move about as he pleases because he can get out of the handcuffs also.
That's a good point. I had not considered that.
Yeah, and he's got food. And
he's crafty.
Yeah.
But he's like a professional prisoner.
Oh, and the detail of giving Samkiel a piece of like bark thing to keep from getting worms. I'm like, oh, that was gross, but I guess.
Super helpful.
Yeah, that sounds like, I immediately was like, that's something that Ryan would like.
Well, I do like that because no different than cinnamon, we don't think of eating trees. And I think that it's nice that they came up with a use for a tree in this. We found a use case for bark of a tree. This is nice. Trees are not just there to be burned by Dianna. Like, they have a purpose outside of this, and this guy has some survival skills. I guess the only thing I correlated with the cinnamon is it's bark of a tree.
Yeah, but what do you think of the elf? Do you think he's trustworthy? He's made it this far into the book, and he seems like it.
I do think he is trustworthy because I think his position mirrors Diana's.
Okay.
His sister is still a part of some nonsense. He's trying to get her out of it.
I was just curious what you thought because whatever you say is probably going to happen and I'm just not picking up on the clues.
It is not. I'm going to quit expressing theories.
What? No, I like it because then every single time I'm just upset later. I'm like, God damn it, Ryan, how did you see this coming?
No, see, what we're not examining is the amount of theories I have been wrong about, but I just throw enough shit at the wall that some of it ends up being true.
Fair. Then this ends with Kaden's POV. There are 2 more fates, I think, and they're locked away. He's a sneaky boy, and him and Camilla met while snooping solo. You were back awake by this point. Even Kaden is bothered by Nismira torching her own guard. So as they're like exploring this area, she's torturing for science?
Yeah, she had been torturing the guards, and then I want to point out, they're like in the underside secret cavern. He walked away for a few minutes from a meeting that he was in. He's like, I gotta go.
And then he saw Nismira leave that location. He wanted to check it out. And Camilla was also there secretly and ran into each other and like, well, let's both go in there.
And I believe they found a secret room right away.
Yes.
And in the secret room, there's blood. Did we get to that yet?
That's what's next. He finds the blood of Isaiah and Samkiel in an empty one for his own. Yeah. And wondering what she's doing. And I think later we learn she's experimenting with making monsters, like alchemy. Like, mix this with this and you get this. Mix this with this and you get this.
Yeah, it's some weird magic thing. But I wonder if she's not trying to make like some ultimate god killer beast.
I think so. I thought she was making an army of beasts and monsters.
This totally could be.
Gods and monsters, one might say.
Dun dun dun.
And then they leave the room and they have to smooch. They're smooching right in front of Vincent.
You're right, I wrote this one.
Quote, she's usually faster than this. Oh, I wanted this written down because Vincent is there with Nismira. They catch Kaden and Camilla together, leaving that location. They start kissing each other to explain why they're hiding and out and about. And Nismira's giving him shit about not making it back to the meeting. And he's like, oh, she's usually faster than this. As an insult to Camilla. But Kaden, maybe you were taking too long. Why is it all on Camilla?
Maybe he was waiting for Camilla to finish.
Oh,
herself.
Either way.
Herself.
He's doing a terrible job.
I don't disagree. He's not known for being a tender lover.
Yeah, so he's like trying to insult her, and I think he insulted himself.
Runs in the family. Just pointing that out. Not enough tender love happening in any part of these.
You know who might be tender?
Vincent.
Isaiah.
Oh, I hope so. I hope he's actually so sweet with her.
He might be.
I hope that's the case.
Chapters 19 through 21, Samkiel's POV. It's going back to this. The elf is kidnapped from their little camp. They like made camp and they're in a really scary location or something like that. And it's very dangerous to get separated from the group because there's all these monsters out and about. Samkiel goes and finds him and he's being like hung off the side of a cliff or whatever. Samkiel's just like, all right, I'm going to do it. Because I think the elf like throws him the rings, or maybe he still has his rings, puts it on, he slaughters them. And the swords do not hurt him from the guards. That was an interesting detail because I thought right now he could get hurt. It's only his wound. Their swords just like hit his shoulder and did nothing. They're like, what are you? And he's like, slaughter. Tosses them off the edge.
I'm the God King, motherfucker. I like to think that he sounds like Duke Nukem sometimes. Say, hell yeah. Swords don't hurt me. No, I think this was a cool moment. We needed this back.
We did need it somewhat, and he is slowly dying, so the fact that he is still more powerful than all those guards. Well, I didn't really understand why he didn't slaughter the entire group. Maybe he's not strong enough to do that.
Maybe we're thinking a little too much like Dianna. He wants to get to the root of what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, he wants to get to the location they're taking him.
I feel like this is an important thing.
Later, if I don't have it written down, I just want to say it now. The elf goes and tells everybody what happened.
Kinda.
Because then they all show up, all the prisoners.
The members of the Eye. Not all of the prisoners.
Fair. Fair. And they're just like, well, we need to be near him for protection.
This elf has been praying to Samkiel his whole life, I might add.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Samkiel is literally his god.
So we do have someone that prays to him.
Well, I'm saying he's, probably. He is God to them. So he really is important. And he does see this as, oh my God, people are going to have so much hope when they find out that you're not really dead. Well, it's amazing.
But yeah, I do think it is a death wound, whatever happened. And that's why he's going to have this scar. I think it just kind of confirmed it after he got into this fight. Next is Cameron's POV. He's naked in bed when Kaden wakes him. This is the second person. I think later, Vincent is also naked in his room. This doesn't seem like the type of place to be naked in while sleeping.
Baby, I mean this so kindly. There's no way I'm sleeping anywhere where I can't be naked. That's just how you sleep.
Really? Like, I just feel like there's some places where it's just not safe to sleep naked.
What the hell is a boxer's going to do for me?
I don't know. It just, I guess if you're comfortable fighting naked, these two men clearly are comfortable being, people keep walking into their rooms. It's dangerous. There's people who are after them.
Why not have all the weapons available at your disposal? First of all, odds are you stand up nude. They're going to be more shocked than you. This is the best self-defense you could have. If an intruder enters our home, I'm walking out there buck-ass nude. That's how the fight happens.
Well,
then if I lose the fight, they still have to walk home thinking about that.
Later, Camilla walks in on Vincent. He's nude, and he like comes up to her, and they're doing their little choking scene again, right? And he's all up and close.
He's getting up.
So close. Yeah. She can feel his dick on her thigh. She's like, I don't even want to look down to see if that's really what I think it is. I'm like, what? Vincent?
What else would it be? He's not wearing anything. You think he's got a holster on the side?
It's just funny to me because I'm just thinking of the realism of a dude who's just like thinking there's an intruder. If he didn't know
if it was just Kaden coming in and Kaden's like, I can feel your dick on my thigh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, he knew that whatever was going to happen, it was going to be a sexy intrusion.
Or was it he's all up close and personal like anybody else? Camilla, Kaden, anyone who walked in.
Put his forearms between her tatties.
Yeah, but as the conversation continues, then he's touching her leg. It's not starts with touching leg. Begins touching her leg.
Do you think he's into her accent?
I bet so. Why wouldn't he? Are you?
No.
I think you might be.
I don't think so. I'm into a Scottish accent.
True.
If there's one accent that I'm just like, that is sexy. I could listen to a Scottish man talk and just be like, yep. I listen to David Tennant's podcast sometimes. I'm like, I'm not gay, but that man's got a great voice.
But anyways, lots of men are sleeping naked. I wonder if there's going to be a scene later with Kaden sleeping naked. And Samkiel obviously sleeps nude. But he wasn't sleeping in dangerous locations.
Everywhere is dangerous when you're Samkiel.
Fair.
The world is dangerous.
Fine. I have no leg to stand on.
They have a third leg to stand on. Hey.
So Kaden comes in, wakes him up. He's sending Cameron to find Dianna. And there's rumors about Camilla and Kaden going around. And Cam knows that it's something more. Like, what's going on?
Because he doesn't smell it on him.
Yeah, that's right. He doesn't smell them fucking.
Yep. He's like, I don't smell her juice on you. Get out of here.
But overall, he's like nude with like a sheet around him during the whole Kaden conversation. And I'm already primed in my head that...
Are you?
Kaden swings both ways. So I'm just like, are they? I'm assuming he's still trying to get Dianna.
Well, and to be fair, Cameron really hates Kate. I don't think he'd even fuck him.
I don't know.
Because he's really pretty mouthy this whole time. Yeah, no,
because I even think Cameron even flirts with him a little bit, makes some flirty comments.
Well, yeah, but that's just conversation. I don't fuck people I flirt with. Remember your buddy's dad.
Good. We get Samkiel's POV. He's getting worse. We learn that the prison that they're headed to has Nismira's weapon that Samkiel needs. And that's part of, we need to continue to this prison and get this. He sneaks off and finds a griffin caged up. He breaks it. He goes in, and you have this whole moment, and he's speaking the same language as the griffin.
He speaks griffin, which is so rad.
What did you think about the griffin calling him the Lost King?
I assumed... So I took this really surface level. Like he was the king and then his life was lost. Because the things opened.
The griffin smells Dianna of a beast older than him. Again, I don't know what it means.
Kaden. Kaden is the beast older than he is.
All right, technically, fine.
Sorry?
No, you're right. And he releases a griffin with truth magic. Oh, the griffin has truth magic. It can tell when you're being honest and whatnot. And he gave his necklace and a note.
Which is really sweet. It was his goodbye note to Dianna. But then he's like, oh, she'll come find me and save me. If not, I love her. Because he's really hoping that he doesn't die before she shows up.
It sounds like he was pretty freaking close.
Yeah, I completely agree. Still impervious to swords. So that part's great.
It's just a weird, slow death, but you can't be... It can't be ended early.
Yeah, no, excruciating though.
And slow and painful.
What a bummer.
What an impressive poison, though, that it can have these long-lasting effects and that you don't just heal from no longer... Because they've been exposing him to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets away from it and it's still affecting him.
Now, I have a theory.
Yeah.
Don't hate me for this. Do we think it was just asbestos?
Asbestos. I was thinking like anthrax or something like that. Are we
those are more instant
Are
death
we allowed
things.
to say these words?
Yeah, you can say anything.
I don't know. I
Watch
don't know
this.
if our stuff gets flagged.
Watch this. Cunt.
Well, you know what I mean.
You can say anything you want, baby.
I just don't know if those types of words get flagged and...
Oh, maybe, but I don't think so. I don't think they're particularly concerned about us spreading anthrax awareness. No. The only reason I thought like asbestos would be like it was a buildup. And it keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
And even if you're removed from it, you've already been exposed.
Yeah.
And you're fucked.
That's exactly it. So really he has cancer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you have any other things that you want to add about the griffin? I kind of went through that quickly.
Female griffin.
And she lost her child.
Mm-hmm.
Or her egg.
It's really, really sad to me that I don't like the idea that children or young things are dying. In general, it just makes me so sad. Because I'm like, adult things, whatever, they die all the time. But baby things should not die.
Because wasn't that part of her cries, was losing her child?
Yeah, imagine if Dianna had spared a couple people on that place she was just at, but she had burned up their kids.
There were no kids on the island or in that area. The
I know,
only kid that they saw was
prefaced
Miska,
that.
and they saved her.
Yes, I know, they preface it that way, but there was no children there. Nobody had procreated. There wasn't a pregnant lady. I don't know, Dianna. I don't know that you paid special enough attention. You just barely knew their language. No, I think the griffin scene was perfect.
It was good. Incredible voice actor again.
She does so many voices.
Chapters 22 through 24, Camilla's POV. Nismira is making her mend a medallion. I don't know what this is about, but Camilla is the best one. I think there's two other witches. The other two are really gossipy, and they just kind of suck at whatever this task is. And Camilla had a nightmare and thought there was a figure in her room. What was that about?
I don't remember, but I honestly thought that it was Vincent spying on her, just making sure she was safe.
Oh,
But I
thought
totally
it's
wrong.
whatever. I don't know. I think I just thought there was something lurking and lingering and following characters, and I don't know. So she runs to Vincent's room because of this, thinking that he was hurt because he heard groans that weren't moans, like it was more pain.
She heard these.
Yes. And she walks in and he's completely nude. And that's where he pins her against the wall and his dick is touching her leg. And
She's like, we must stop this. Please pull your penis off my leg.
and they talk, they deny their feelings to each other. And it kind of just ends with that of like, what are we? And it's nothing as of right now.
She says we're friends. He says, no, we're not. And it broke her heart. And she's like, I guess he's kind of right. Like, we're not friends. We're just two people in a similar situation.
Yep.
And she felt kinship. And they've decided to leave it at that. And it made me sad.
Well, that's why.
You guys could just be friends.
Well, that's why I don't think that they're really having this love, this deep, passionate love for each other. It's more of a two people in a shitty situation that are just looking for comfort and are probably going to bang.
Nope, it's going to build into love.
It will, but that's the foundation that I think we're getting.
Their house of love is built on a shitty foundation, to be honest.
Yes, it is. Then it goes to Dianna. She's on the docks, and a soldier gave her his location. Oh, Samkiel's location from 3 days ago. So it's not really useful. Reggie says she's losing her control. And it sounds like she gave up her amatta bond to save him because she's kind of reeling over, what did I give? What did I give?
Again, the most repetitive shit so far in this book, which when you don't buy into it, makes it annoying.
Miska shows up, I think, with some items that she needed to make for tea.
Papa Reggie. It's like, no, come over this way. You don't want to see that, love.
Oh, and she doesn't even care with all the dead bodies. She's like, oh, Dianna, you again, slaughtering men. She's not bothered.
It's just so cute.
She doesn't care. And I think especially because she feels loved. These people like her company.
Yeah.
Nobody's liked her company since her mom died.
I just think it's lovely that he is like, let's go get you something to eat, kiddo.
It's part of that human aspect that he's getting.
Well, yeah, and he cares for her. He's like, well, this is Diana's daughter now, so I'm loyal to Dianna. This is like my grandchild. And he's being Papa Reggie.
And it's very sweet. Then Reggie urges Dianna to change if she expects to be Samkiel's queen one day. That was a good conversation of, what do you think you're doing? If you expect to be by Samkiel's side, being the queen to this god or whatever the conversation was, and these people are going to be okay with it, they're going to revolt.
If you try to rule by fear, you are going to incite problems.
Yep.
Because she really is killing indiscriminately.
Yeah, she doesn't care. And I think because she's so one-tracked mind, she's just, I need to save Samkiel and I need to find him and I'm going to murder everybody in my path. But at the same time, she is not wrong because she kills people. Reggie is upset and she's like, but if I leave him alive, these are the problems that come.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a happy medium here.
What did you think of the scene where she thought that she saw Kaden? She chased after whatever it was and there was nothing there.
I did not make a mental note of that scene.
It was her just running through the little town square or whatever it is, knocking things over, going after Kaden. Everyone is scared, and it turns out nothing was ever there. Then the griffin shows up. She understands the griffin because of the blood of rovakeen, whatever it is, her being a beast. She reads Samkiel's letter, and they are going to go hide Miska.
And I believe they just take Miska to the in-between, is that right?
I'm not sure. Wherever Reggie went with her.
Okay.
And then Dianna rode on the griffin all the way to Samkiel back there.
Which seems unnecessary to put that weight on the griffin when you're a beast that could fly.
Oh, maybe she wasn't on top. I don't know. I probably added that in.
I'm just pointing out, like, why add this weight to the back of a griffin?
But I didn't know if what she thought she saw Kaden was similar to Camilla's dream of seeing a figure in her room.
And I think you're probably right. And it may have something to do with whatever this yellow-eyed, chosen one, otherworld king.
Yeah, in her dream. Imogen's POV, and I have, well, this scene is too much for me. Isaiah posed as a minotaur. I think you could be. I think I got that one wrong.
Oh, well.
It doesn't even matter because I was so bothered by what was happening. I'm like, oh no. Is this about to be DNF'd or what's going on? I ended up upsetting myself anyways. And Isaiah slays them all. And I have, quote, I don't like when people touch what belongs to me.
It's a very Samkiel moment, isn't it?
It is. And Isaiah took her to Kaden and cleaned up the blood while he was naked. He's naked now. In images, I think, just there, and he's just walking around naked, cleaning himself up.
I don't think the nudity is a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's just kind of funny. I'm just like, this seems so dangerous. I see Nismira's palace as dangerous, and
all of these penises just flailing about.
Yeah, just men casually being nude all the time. It seems so dangerous to me, I guess.
Again, I think this is where we go back to like the Greek-Roman aspect of things, where it's just, nudity is nudity. Now, what I would add to this that I find strange is the women are not naked, just the men.
Yeah, and I think to interpret it is they feel safe in these locations.
But we don't hear Nismira feels safe. She's not naked.
We don't hear anything about Nismira.
We do. We hear a lot about Nismira. Not a lot compared to everybody else, but we hear quite a bit. Yeah. Not one woman among her army is nude. You think that her army is populated entirely by men? I do not believe that, because she is such a staunch feminist. She prefers to be called king. There are women in this army, and there must be tatties about.
There are enough to slaughter them, save themselves. Imogen cannot save herself at this time. But then Isaiah...
I don't know what we're doing. The titties, enough to slaughter themselves.
Well, I mean, if there's any creepy men like the ones here, they can handle themselves.
I see what you mean.
But Imogen can't, so she needs Isaiah at this time, protecting her. But Isaiah has his ex clean her up. Clean up Imogen of all the blood. That was so odd. He's like, the girl had been fucking, pretty much. You come in here, clean her up.
Yeah, I don't find it insanely odd in the sense of Samkiel had Dianna be watched by his ex.
I know. It's just so messy. But at the same time, Isaiah doesn't know what he's feeling. He's very confused. He just wants to be near her and just like standing near her and protect her. He's like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't want anyone touching her or being mean to her.
Yeah, which again, I found it very endearing. And the way that Isaiah interacts with Kaden is very endearing.
Yeah.
He's going to be a shitbird, but so far he's probably my favorite shitbird.
I'm liking Isaiah.
I mean, he did some negative shit, like cutting off Samkiel's hand. And
well, I mean, it was needed.
Attempted to murder his brother.
I mean, we can look past it. It
okay,
doesn't
all right.
matter.
Yeah, no, we'll just beyond.
Chapters 25 through 27, we get Camilla's POV. There's rumors of Imogen going around with Isaiah and that whole team. That's where those two other witches are pretty gossipy. But I kind of like it. We should probably check in with them more often so we can get more Nismira Palace gossip.
This reminds me of a song.
What?
Not a song that really applies to it. It just reminds me of a song by my favorite female artist. Do you know who that is?
No.
Give you a hint. Rumor has it, Adri.
Oh, why can't I think of her name?
Voice of an Angel.
Yeah, Adele.
Yes. The song is Rumor Has It.
Oh. Oh, gotcha. And then Camilla tells Vincent that she isn't sleeping with Kaden and gets that out of the way. And then like Vincent has this moment of like relief, like, oh, good. And he's like, wait a minute, what is going on? And Vincent takes her to his getaway spot.
On the roof.
And he says that he trusts Isaiah to protect Imogen. So they kind of get in that whole conversation of what's going on. Camilla's like, we trust this guy. Vincent says yes.
Vincent, you're such a great judge of character.
Yeah. Cameron's POV. He's in the same place as Dianna. This was such an odd scene. So he finds where Dianna just was, that we last talked about, where the griffin shows up and she's on the docks, whatever that little town is.
It was 3 days between these events, I believe.
Okay. Bunch of narcs in this town because they're just like, she went that way, and then finds another woman that's casually like, come inside, let me tell you about her. It's like, what do you mean? You see this man just show up and you're inviting him into your home? So I thought it was a trap for Cameron the whole time. I'm like, what civilian would do this? This is not logical. No, she's a dummy.
Yep.
And got herself killed. I kind of don't feel bad for her. You let this man into your home, you give him all the information, and then he kills you. Because, yeah, I have Cameron is tempted to feed on the city woman. Oh, she got a cut. Cameron actually wants Dianna to, and then Cameron eats her, or whatever the word is. Then we learn that Cameron actually wants to find Dianna to help save Xavier.
Yes. Yes, he's planning on double-crossing Kaden and them.
Yeah.
Once he gets help from Dianna.
Yep. And I don't think it's this chapter. I think it's in the next chapter that Kaden shows up because Cam keeps ignoring his calls.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He picks up the special rock, and he's like, my fucking rock is ringing off the hook.
Yeah, the obsidian. Okay. I was like, what are you talking about?
Why do these motherfuckers keep calling me? So he crushes it. He's like, I don't fucking answer their phone anyway, which I guess is their version of ignoring the call. And then Kaden just pops up. He's like, I fucking knew you were ignoring my calls. He was like peeping around a corner while he was calling him. He's like, I knew you were ignoring my calls. He's like, I hadn't learned anything. Back off, Pop. And he's like, motherfucker, I'm your daddy. You listen to me. And he's like, no, you didn't teach me how to be a good boy. So now I'm out here eating people uncontrollably. I can't even transform. That's why it took me so goddamn long to get here, because I had to go by boat.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He doesn't know how to go to a beast form.
No, and Kaden explains this in a way where he's like, I cannot help it if you're fucking defective.
Oh,
and I was like, oh shit. So maybe he actually doesn't have the ability to do so. Or maybe Kaden saw and he was like, listen, this guy's better than nothing, but he's not that good of an Igmorathan. And so he just didn't put any effort into him.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't take it that way. Wow, yeah, I think you're right.
I don't think he's actually defective, but I do think that it's sad.
He's just like, I don't know what to do. But anyways, Cameron kills the woman. Then it cuts to Samkiel's POV. It's back at the camp.
Hold on, we haven't even got... Oh, okay, yep, you're right.
Technically, the scene ended, and it goes back to Samkiel's POV, and he's back at the camp, and the other prisoners want protection from him. And we learn that nismira is making monsters.
Except for one prisoner who wants nothing to do with Samkiel, and he's wearing a cloak, and he's mysterious and bigger and badder than the other prisoners. They're all afraid of him.
Is this the one that gets locked up and Dianna goes and visits later?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, he's an otherworlder who's in solitary.
Okay.
But he's, according to Samkiel, he's a badass also.
I also found it interesting that these prisoners are aware that nismira is making monsters, but Kaden isn't aware.
Yeah, I don't understand how the rumor mill works. To be fair, it doesn't appear as though Kaden has like a large network of friends.
Fair. Chapters 28 through 30, Samkiel's POV again. Dianna shows up in the forest. She does like this little whistle for him. And this is why I don't think that they are like the amatta bonded, because he didn't sense Dianna until the very last moment. So hears this whistle and he sneaks out of his tent and he goes into the forest and he's all guarded. He has his sword up and he's ready to kill whatever called him out there. And then it turns out it was Dianna. And she gives him a serum that Miska made and it healed him very quickly. Great. Just in time for our next chapter, Dianna's POV. A spicy scene. But where are they? I think they're in the forest.
They are in the forest. They're forest fucking right now. Because
disgusting.
They get done fucking. Well, here's the thing. Don't worry about it. They got somebody now that can make them penicillin. I'm all for forest fucking.
I'm so slow.
You're good.
I'm like, what?
I'm all for the forest fucking. Right? To be completely honest, I don't even see it as that bad.
Ryan, he's been gone for 2 weeks. He's a prisoner. He's in a tent.
Flavor. I don't disagree. I know.
His body is so gross.
They haven't fucked in weeks.
They even mention it after they're done fucking, how they need to get him a shower.
Baby, you could be disheveled, covered in dirt and grime, living in a New York subway for 2 weeks. And if I haven't seen you in 2 weeks, I clean your body myself with nothing but my tongue and a will to live.
No.
All I'm saying is...
This scene was... I'm just like...
This is the line.
Are we in a forest right now? Are we ignoring how dirty he is?
Here's the thing. He could snap his fingers and be clean again. So it was a choice they made.
No.
He's still magic.
Does he really have that power?
Yeah, remember he cleans the house by snapping his
God
fingers.
damn it, you're right. He could clean himself. Why weren't you clean?
Because it would be mysterious for a prisoner who was just disheveled and nasty to all of a sudden be the cleanest person there.
Dirty body and hands, because he's got rough hands. She mentions how rough they are since he's been gone.
Yeah, he's been working the pole. This guy's fucking weird.
And then I have, wait, yes, they are in a forest. Like, oh no. Oh, and I have a couple quotes from this scene.
Oh, good. I was worried that we would just be able to brush over this one.
Quote, as he finger fucked me. And I'm like, his hands, they're dirty. Quote, tongue fucked. I'm like, this was aggressive.
They're all aggressive. They're all aggressive.
They haven't seen each other in weeks. And they were going for a quick get it done.
Yeah,
literally quick and dirty.
And it could have been described as like, you know, he massaged her insides. Like there could have been something there.
Which he's done in the past. Where
Yeah, and she's like, oh, his stubble all over my thighs. He's bearded. Oh, he's going to have this flavor until he showers.
She mentioned 5 o'clock shadow. His hair grows.
Weeks.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing. I can imagine 2 weeks, he would definitely have 5 o'clock shadow.
I thought it'd be a full-on beard.
Beard. Yeah, it should be a bit more of a beard. But what really cracks me up is they go through all of this to be like, yeah, we had sex. She hasn't brought up that they now have an adopted child.
Oh, yeah.
We have not reviewed any of the information we've received.
He knows nothing.
First things first, he hasn't brought up that he made an elf friend who is about to make a guest appearance in their sex scene.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody is bringing anything up to anybody. Their primary concern is getting off.
Overall, it was a gross scene to me because I did not think he was clean the entire time. And I believe it was mentioned at some point. His dirty clothes, his dirty hair, his scraggly beard. And I'm just grossed out thinking back on it.
When I hear the term finger fuck too, I need to share this one little tip.
Yeah, I was just like, finger fucked. Whoa, this was
So-
aggressive. I'm just picturing just like going to town really fast and not.
Just jabbing in there?
Yeah. Rather than, I think.
Sensual massage.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was more aggressive just with that aggressive term of describing it. And I'm like, this would not be doing it for me at all. But also in a forest, back against a tree on the ground.
Against a tree. I'm sure she's leaned against him. The
Yeah.
order in which this happens.
Yeah.
Important stuff. But the term finger fuck always makes me think of the phrase, like, I drag my balls through a half mile of broken glass to finger fuck her shadow. You know what I'm talking about?
That's so weird.
It's the only phrase I can think of where that has been something in my daily life. Not daily.
Daily.
But yeah, daily.
Daily thoughts.
Everybody says that.
You miss
Everybody's
me
saying
and
it.
you're just like, oh.
I dragged my balls through a half mile of broken glass to finger fuck her shadow.
Oh, wait. Also, there are screams. She's screaming. This is mentioned.
Yeah, because she's being punched in the cervix by his index finger.
Finger fucked. Tongue fucked. She's screaming and no one hears. Oh, yep. Someone did hear. There's a beast as she tackles him and starts to kill the little elf guy.
Yeah, she rips his fucking throat out, I think.
Oh, yeah, because he has to get healed by Samkiel.
Yeah, Samkiel's like, whoa. Puts him back together and he's like,
Yeah, Samkiel is the next POV and he saves the elf from D and he like fixes his throat. And Dianna doesn't want to help the elfin family, but Samkiel promised to help him and his sister in the rebellion by going to the prison for the weapon.
because promise still means something to Samkiel.
Oh, fuck. You're right. Oh, my God. Because the betrayal hasn't happened yet.
So Samkiel is also very possessive of Diana's nudity. He's like shielding that guy's eyes while he's healing his neck. He's like, you fucking look away. You look away. And Diana's like, it's no big deal. I've been naked before in front of people. And Sam's like, cover yourself. And the guy's like, I'm not looking. And he's like peeking through his little fingers.
He's like gargling on his blood.
Yeah, it's so funny to me where he's just like, you don't look at her while she's naked. And he's like, cover yourself. And she's like, oh my God.
He wouldn't tell her that. Would he?
Not quite. I think it was something to the effect of put on some clothes. Like, he has to eventually look this way again. That's basically what he says.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
he's very much about like, your body is for me to see and me only. Which weirdly I get. Of all of his jealous bullshit, this is the one where I'm like,
She's
yeah.
a bystander. She couldn't help this. She's nude. Someone showed up. Wait a minute. She turns into a beast.
I'm saying and she continues to be naked in front of him. And that's one moment where I'm like, no, I kind of agree with Samkiel. Like, if this is a line that he has, you should respect that he doesn't want you to be just naked in front of people. I think that's acceptable.
So she turned into a beast, gets the elf, converts back to her nude self. She could have converted back into clothes.
Correct. And she also arrived in clothes. She had clothes. She
Where are
didn't
the
pounce
clothes?
down on him naked. Well, I don't know, but I doubt that she was on the back of the griffin, just tatties in the breeze.
No, I bet she was nude by the time Samkiel came out into the forest.
Maybe. Well, she was a beast in that form. But I'm saying clothes exist for her somewhere in this.
Somehow.
And if not, it transformed that part of your body into something with fur. I don't fucking know. Like, you have
Just
options.
Bushy bush on your tits.
Yeah.
Keep them
A luscious V of chest hair going from her chest pubes to her ball fro.
Well, either way, this is a scenario of his jealousy that is more appropriate, and I think
I don't know if it's even
better.
more appropriate, but I think I can understand this one a little bit where I'd be like, no, Adri, just please cover up a little bit. Like, that's for me, not for them.
Okay, all right.
So if it is unhealthy, I think I can share in this with him at least.
Chapters 31 through 33. We have Diana's POV, and she turns into like this little cat lion form to follow the prisoners. And she's like off to the side. And the whatever animals that I was picturing pulling the little carriage things are terrified.
They're unsettled completely.
No, and Igmorathan is nearby.
All the forest creatures are unsettled.
Yes, scattering, leaving. And she transforms again in order to get into the caravan. I don't know if she's a little bug or something.
I think she's a mouse.
Yeah. She's changing her
form.
a
mouse because she could get in his pocket.
Yes. And Dianna is rude because she trusts no one. And Samkiel is upset. She feels this way because he promised to help. Oh my God, I wasn't seeing the signs of all the promises.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And how valuable it is to Samkiel. Oh, I'm getting mad again.
Samkiel also brought up, like, hey, so there's these big fires and bombings and violence that's all being blamed on you. And she's like, you talking about those bombings and fires and stuff? He's like, yeah. Saying that they killed everybody. She's like, yeah. He's like, was that you? She's like, yeah.
It was before I was taken, so it must have been after I passed out there. And
well, she's like, I also didn't kill everybody. He's like, oh, good. So I knew you wouldn't kill everybody. She's like, yeah, I saved Miska. He's like, wait, of everybody in that whole fucking country, you saved one person? She's like, yeah. Yeah, just Miska. Well, where is she now? Well, she's with Papa Reggie. Not to worry. We're raising her.
Samkiel and her are alone at some point in the caravan and alone with her on his lap.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the discussion of how dirty he is. And I'm like, gross. I think we could fix this temporarily, but whatever. He needs to conserve his energy.
Well, and again, it would be very suspicious. The disheveled man.
Back.
You think he's just snapping his fingers back and forth magic? Oh, somebody peeped around a corner. Boom. Real quick. Go back to homelessness.
Yeah, we even joked about him snapping his fingers to break the bed.
Yeah, I agree. I think he was doing that.
Well, she's on his lap at some point, and then he asked her to be honest about the fires in the east, but she didn't open up about her love and his death in the caravan? ? They must be banging in the caravan. Oh
again,
my God.
Yes, more. It is happening all the time.
Yep, I think they had a sex scene in there. Diana's POV, she's now a rodent in his pocket while they're going into the hall, into this
They're being walked
prison.
into the prison.
Yeah, and all of the beasts are scared, and she knows that it's because of her. And while in the dining hall, she knows that she needs to eat, and she's not being honest with him, that she doesn't want to eat the food that they have, and he wants her to sleep in his bed, but she wants to feed. So she is lying to him again. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go around, investigate. Diana's POV again. She goes down to visit the prisoner that no one dares to speak to, and she feeds on the guard, which is good. She needed this. And she said the prisoner was different than the one in her dreams. I don't know if that was intended to mean he was the one in the dreams, he just looked different, or it's not who she thought it would be.
It's not the one in her dream. It's a different guy, but
Right.
he's still an otherworlder.
Okay.
And Samkiel shows up while she's talking with that guy. How he got in there, we don't fucking know. We never even discuss how the fuck he just got free range to go into the whole solitary confinement section of the prison.
Oh my God, you're right. Because we know that she got out because she's a little mouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did he get out?
We don't know. They kind of get their run of the prison. It's brought up that they're like, the guards really don't give a shit what you do as long as you're not trying to escape or cause real trouble. It's a pretty loosey-goosey kind of prison.
Yeah, it is pretty relaxed.
But going down into solitary to talk to this guy does seem like an area where perhaps there would be guards.
Well, she ate one
correct.
or whatever ones are on the way.
I'm just suggesting that maybe there would be a little more security involved in this. And Samkiel's like, you don't talk to him. He's gross. She's like, I needed to know if he was going to be a friend or a foe. And then he's like, I'm a foe. And she's like, no, you're friends.
And it pisses me off because Dianna is just lying through her teeth of why she's doing it.
What do you mean?
He's just like, what are you doing? Like you just said, I needed to see if he's friend or... That's not why you were doing it. You're trying to find the creature in your dreams.
Yeah, but the creature in your dreams is not directly related to Samkiel's nonsense. You're right. She needs to come clean about there being a creature in
But
her
as
dreams,
why,
though.
as far as why she went down there, She was trying to find the creature that was in her dreams, and she thought it could be it.
You're correct. Yes.
So yeah, Samkiel shows up. He injures the other creature in order to develop a plan to get into an upper room. And I think they leave the creature there. Maybe it lives.
No, it lives.
It does.
Yep.
Jaw-dropping moment. Samkiel asked what she's been hiding from him, and she confessed her dreams. He asked if there was more. She said no, and he made her pinky promise.
It's the law.
And she said no, and Pinky swore.
Yep. She broke the pinky promise. She's a bitch.
Crimes. And she is. She's like, in her head, I guess I'm a bitch.
No need to guess. You're terrible, Dianna. I'm not a Dianna fan at the end of this.
I'm not either, and I'm upset about it because I know Diana's been a bitch, but I thought she's been an asshole to everybody but those she loves, like Reggie, Samkiel, now Miska.
I would argue
Gabby.
she's really been an asshole to almost everybody.
Yeah.
Gabby's the only one that she actually wasn't an asshole to. And so far, even her initial interaction with Miska was odd because she's like, she just wants to fuck you, Samkiel. And I'm like, she's a 14-year-old girl, Dianna. How about we keep our goddamn pants on and chill out?
But not like this.
That's true.
And it's been days, and I'm still upset about it.
She's the worst. I'm with you on this. I'm hoping we get redeemed in the next 33, 35, whatever chapters we're doing.
Chapters 34 and 35. Cameron's POV. There's a feeding frenzy. He's going on a feeding frenzy, trying to find Dee. Kaden, Isaiah, and Imogen show up. That's where you retold he's getting call after call after call, and he just ignores it. Kaden's just like, I knew you were ignoring me. And Kaden is calling him out on, I think you do know where Diana's at. And Cam gives him partial information, I think giving the wrong location, but also it's like partially true. And then they head back to Nismira.
Also, he's being an asshole to Kaden in this.
Yes.
And Isaiah's like, no. You don't talk to him like that. That's my little brother. I will fuck you up. And then he's like, oh, fucking do it. And then he's like, wait, that guy could really fucking do it.
And I think he even looks at
Imogen
and just kind of was shameful and looked down.
Yeah, because he sees her empty, soulless eyes.
Yeah.
And he was so sad that she was empty.
And we now know that she saw that he turned.
Yeah.
And that he's working for Kaden. I don't think she would know why. Then it ends on Diana's POV. They are beginning to execute their plan. They learn that the otherworldly creatures are working for Nismira and, quote, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And that's why the otherworldly creatures are working for Nismira, because they're actually against whatever the hell you were talking about earlier, that there's something bigger and badder than Nismira out there.
And that's why she's trying to have what's-her-face work on the amulet deal so that they can build this weapon that will kill that thing.
Oh, okay.
That's my guess.
Do you think the Dawn of the Cursed Queen is in reference to Nismira?
No, I think it's Dianna.
Whoa, do you think that other creature is Dianna and they just don't know it yet?
No, I think that there is another big bad that predates all of that other stuff. I think they're going to get to the point where they're taking down Nismira, and then Dianna is the cursed queen, and she's like, I will fuck anything up now. And then the big bad guy shows up, and he's like, well, thank you for preparing my throne, bitches. And they all got a gang together to try to beat that guy up, but he's going to have some other sort of Billy Badass nonsense going on.
Do you think Samkiel and Dianna are going to rescue their friends by the end of this book?
Not all of them. I think they're going to end up with... So we don't know how the curse gets broken, because we're left with the impression that the words that Kaden spoke to them bind their bodies, separate from their mind, and it's unbreakable.
Unless Kaden dies. Just like...
It's kind of what I'm assuming would happen.
All of the bodies that were mind-controlled by... Who was it? Tobias
Fuke.
Well,
and they bring up there's 2 more Kings of Xaden also in this.
Mm-hmm. One with ice power, I think.
Yep.
And I don't remember the other one. Samkiel is very possessive and jealous. Some more. We've already touched on that many, many times. And it ends with a fight broke out between the guards and prisoners. And I think that is their in to start their plan in the next chapter.
Get his weapon. And then he can get his weapon. And then they're ready to find Nismira and get after it.
I don't think it's going to happen that fast.
Oh, fuck, I hope it does. Because a fight scene between those guys could last 5 chapters, and I would enjoy all 5, I think. Weirdly, I hope Diana's the one, though, that gets to get in there and just start busting up some ass.
I think if this book is like the other ones, this next batch of chapters that we're going to go through is not going to be plot heavy and moving forward and more heavy on the different relationships.
Well, here's what I will take. Fewer sex scenes, because also while we were at the prison, why is Samkiel sleeping on the floor?
I thought he had a bed.
He did, but he took the stuff off his bed and laid it out on the floor. Because Dianna and him could not both fit on the tiny little prison bed. And he wants Dianna to sleep with him. Dianna little spoons her way on this side because he has such a massive body that if the guards walk by, they just assume it's Samkiel, and they don't notice her in there. He took a tiny uniform, and it was his first time stealing, and she was so proud of him for that.
Oh, that was a really cute detail.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on those few things. So Samkiel's slowly turning into more like a Dianna-ish.
I see it as he'll be morally gray. He'll ignore his values for her to keep her safe. He's done this a few times.
I think he'll be less morally gray, and he's going to more so be like overall a moral positive, but he's going to have some areas in which he's willing to bend instead of being so rigid the way he was. And Dianna will eventually correct her behaviors partially to be a good mom.
I don't know. Miska seems pretty cool with her killings.
Yeah, I don't think the killing is the biggest issue. I think it's breaking pinky promises. That's the big thing. That's what makes her evil to me. She can murder whoever the fuck she wants.
I can't trust her anymore.
That's
completely.
The thing. I don't need another Dianna chapter. I want to hear chapters from people who I can trust.
I trust Vincent being a dirtbag.
He's been an honest dirtbag for this book. Yeah.
No, I think it was just I had expectations on Dianna that she couldn't.
She could have.
She
could have. I'm so upset with Dianna, but I think she's going to get better. I don't know what her redemption arc is going to be, but it needs to be more than Kaden's.
Yeah. She just fell. I don't know. She's got a lot to work on.
She tripped and fell right off her pedestal that we put her on. How could she do this to us? She has been the best character, the worst character, the most evil character, and the most kind character. I cannot give the writing enough credit. Outside of the sex scenes, every character feels like an individual who has a life outside of just the main goings-on in the book.
Yes, they definitely do.
Even the little side characters, our little elf fellow. I'm imagining he's at some point going to have some more detail and flesh.
He has feelings about his sisters and motivations to live and exist for his sister.
And he used to be a general for Nismira. Mm-hmm. Like, he has some depth, but I also want to know, like, what's he up to while they're doing this nonsense? We're going to get some of that because the writing is so complete.
Well, he's helping him out. And I think that she's supposed to kill a guard, take over his body, and she needs to do it when he has a certain thing of keys on him.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's all going to happen. I'm just pointing out that the character writing is so good and thorough in this. The world development, I don't feel like is there.
We've already done our whole world thing. I think we've moved past that in the first couple books.
Well, this is what I'm saying is we were just introduced to the other half of a universe that we haven't really developed. I have no mental picture of what's going on in these other universes. The fact that there were trees in this, I was unaware until he was literally eating bark.
Oh.
Like, there are those moments. The world is not fleshed out in some way.
Every single time, it's either the Witcher video game in the world that they're in. That's where they're currently at because of the whole, how he was transported. So that's what I'm picturing. Sometimes it's the Zelda video game. It's really just between those two.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like it's a lot left to assumption.
Or real world stuff like Onyx. There we go, I got it. That's like large city visual that I have for that stuff.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out that I love the writing in this book, but it's really character driven and not environmentally driven, which I do enjoy.
Yeah, I think you get one thing, you lose another.
You would think that, but once you read Mistborn, baby.
Oh my God.
It is so possible to do both.
I will one of these days. We just need to either choose that book for reading.
I sincerely hope that when we're done with this series, we go to Mistborn.
I don't know what we're reading. We're reading The Night and the Moth because that's coming out soon. And I don't know what we're going to read after that. I've been wanting to do Throne of Glass, that whole series, but I also know that it's very popular and I don't know.
Yeah, I think Throne of Glass would be a lot of fun, but
It's a long series. It's committing like 8 months to a
Mistborn
series.
is a series, I might add.
Yes.
I have only read the first book. And what's amazing about Mistborn is I read the first book. I will read the second one, but I don't feel like it's necessary. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you can just enjoy it as a standalone.
I just enjoyed it as the book that it was. And it didn't leave me on there's a bit of a cliffhanger where you know there's going to be more, but it also left you at a point where you're like, man, that was so satisfying that it could be just there.
I'm jealous. I love you.
I love you.
You're my bestie.
You're my bestie. Open your legs and close your books. It's over. Thank you guys for supporting us. It's been a good time. If you'd like more,
Follow us here, TikTok or Instagram. Fable, if you want to join our book club. Patreon, if you want episodes early.
drop it on Tuesdays if you're into that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. Episodes are releasing on Tuesdays. If there's a 2-parter, it's going to be on Thursdays.
We accept 5-star reviews and nothing less. If you leave something less, you're a motherfucker.
No!
Oh.
Honest reviews.
Not that honest. Only leave a review if you're willing to be a 5-star honest person. Should we come up with something mean to say to him on the way out? I kind of want to pick on him.
No, I won't say love you. Bye.
Oh, you can tell him that you love him.
Okay.
I won't.
Love you guys before Ryan bullies you out of here.
I'm fine with most of you. I love you, bye. Close your legs and open your books. Open your legs and close your books. I'm gonna read it. We gonna read books. Close your legs and open your book. I want to learn to read. Open your legs and close your book. I'm tired of reading.
No.
That should be the end of the podcast. All right, close the book, open your legs. It's time to quit reading. Podcast is over. Close your book, open your legs.
No.
As you were.
No.
You know how we all walk around just spread out.
No.
Put your pants on, Edith. It's time to read a book.